our new property, Molori Mashuma. So Mashuma opened this season in August, and it was kind of a bit of a soft opening. So we had lots of trade come down and lots of press come down to stay, and kind of family and friends and things like that to kind of, you always need that sort of snagging and things like that. So it was a really nice way to sort of soft launch the property and have a few people come and stay and experience it and get the feedback as well before opening for the season next year. So Molori Mashuma is based in Mana Pools National Park, which is in Zimbabwe, bordering Zambia. And bordering the Lower Zambezi National Park, and we love the Lower Zambezi. We've got clients in the Lower Zambezi National Park, and it is a really firm favourite of all of us in the office. So when we had the opportunity to work with the property in Mana Pools, we really couldn't turn it down because we were just dying to come to this part of Africa because all we've ever heard is incredible things, and I really did stand out. So Mana Pools is a really beautiful, unique national park. It's actually a UNESCO site, and you have these incredible acacia trees where the sunlight comes through. They actually describe it a bit like a cathedral because the light that comes through is just so striking, and the photographic opportunities are really amazing here. You have the river right there. You've got many pans throughout the national park. And it really is, it feels kind of like an Eden here. Even when we were there, which is sort of the very end of the dry season where it was very dry, but you really do have a very kind of varied safari experience here. So Molori Mashuma, well, this is first of all the Mana Pools National Park. We've got the Zambezi River at the kind of, I suppose, the top of it here. And then this is the Lower Zambezi National Park, which kind of borders it. So we know the other side of the river very well. And so we're really excited to come and explore the Zim side. So you can see here where we are. We're the kind of northern part of Zimbabwe, and Molori Mashuma is located down kind of slightly west of the park. We flew into Mana Main airstrip, and then it was about a 20-minute drive down to the property. Now we are located on a pan, so I will talk a bit more about that. But in terms of proximity to the river, it's about a 40-minute drive down to the river, I mean, if you kind of stopped for lots of different game and things like that, then it might take an hour, but it's a really nice activity to do in a kind of do a full morning out, driving out to the river, having breakfast down there, and things like that. So they do really kind of try to incorporate the river in a stay, but you will see why you kind of almost can forget that the river is there when you're at Mashuma, because there is just the most incredible proximity of game to the camp. So the camp is located on the Mashuma Pan, which is this beautiful big pan here. And you can see that the property is kind of dotted around. So we have our main area just here. Down the bottom, we've got our 2-bedroom suites off to the right, and then we have our 1-bedroom suites off to the left. And they are all overlooking the pan. So you have pan views from the whole property. It's all about looking out onto that pan. And actually, when we were there, the pan had dried back a little bit more. They do pump it ever so slightly, not a huge amount, but just kind of so it doesn't dry out completely. And the game, I mean, I suppose particularly at the time of year that we were here, but I mean, year round, the game here is absolutely amazing because it is a known pan. It's got beautiful fresh water in it, and it attracts, I mean, particularly lots of ellies, and we do get some hippos at certain times of year, as you can see up here, when it is a little bit deeper. So the main camp area is this beautiful open sort of space, again overlooking the pan, and you've got the kind of main pool and then a few different little kind of lounge options around, and then also our fire pit area, which is really lovely to come and sit down here when you come back from a game drive in the evening. The pool, you're sat here in the pool just looking out over that pan, and that pool is very much needed particularly when we were here in October when it was very hot, but it is so lovely to just sit in that pool and watch the pan go by. You really could spend a whole day and not go out at all and just have an amazing game experience right from the camp here. The design here is really, really incredible. So it was a really big part of the camp is the interior design. And what's really lovely is that throughout there are these gorgeous pops of color, but it is still very in keeping, and it still blends in so beautifully with the environment. They've used shape and kind of texture a lot throughout the design. So that kind of means that it blends in really beautifully, but has a lot of interest in terms of the interiors, and everything feels like it kind of has a purpose. You've got these beautiful this sort of beautiful sculpture here, which was by a Zimbabwean artist, and we've actually got some Zimbabwean artists doing a kind of different project, similar kind of thought process to the rug project at Molori Safari, but doing a different kind of project here at Mashuma. So as you can see, you get incredible game viewing right from the camp, and then just, yeah, really, really beautiful space, and kind of feels like the camp's been built around what is already there. So we've got trees coming up through the decking, and it kind of creates this beautiful canopy. And actually, when you're arriving, you can hardly see that anything is here, and then all of a sudden you come around the corner and it kind of opens up, and you see the beautiful main area. So we have got 4 of our 1-bedroom Premier suites. So there's 6 suites in total, 4 of the 1-bedroom Premier suites. And these again are all overlooking that pan. It is all about facing the Mashuma pan. And they've got a beautiful big decked area out the front. It's so lovely just sitting here, you know, between activities and just taking it in. It's really calm and quiet here. We're in the area around the camp is a private concession. And then we do actually have another area of private concession as well, really nearby. So it means that it's just you. It's so private and so quiet. It feels like there could be nobody else around for hundreds of miles. Again, the interior design inside the suites is absolutely beautiful, and they're designed in this way so you've got the bedroom and the bathroom both overlooking the pan. The baths in every room or a different angle and in a different location, so that they get the best view they can. They kind of all stood in each suite checking where the bath should go, to ensure that it was in the perfect location to be able to, yeah, view the pan right from your bath. They also have an outdoor bathroom with outdoor shower, and actually the project that they're going to be doing with the artists in Zimbabwe is a project to add in. They're going to be adding in a second mirror, so you've got a double vanity here, and they'll be adding in a second mirror which will be to have been designed by a Zimbabwean artist, so kind of bringing that art to life, and utilizing it in the space in a kind of useful way. So that is really exciting, and they will hopefully be in before the next season. They should be in quite soon, hopefully. And then again, you've got this beautiful decked area outside overlooking the pan, where you've got elephants coming down to drink, warthog coming down to drink. We had lion coming down, so it was really, really amazing. We've then got the superior double suites. So these are 2-bedroom suites, and these would really be perfect for either a family. It'd be amazing for families down here, or amazing for 2 couples sharing, because you've got these 2 completely identical bedrooms either side, a beautiful big living area in the middle, and a lovely big decked area as well. So you're looking out again from that sort of even in the lounge area, you're looking out onto the pan, and then you've got that outdoor decked area as well. We hardly made use of this indoor area. I felt so guilty because it was so hot, so we were outside the whole time. But in those winter months when it's much cooler, curling up in this lounge area with a good book would be just amazing. You've got outdoor living and dining, so guests can dine privately at their rooms. Again, the kind of whole concept here is being really, really bespoke, and really kind of tailoring the experience to the clients. So you have a lovely living area out here, and they can dine out here as well. And you have a private plunge pool in these 2 suites. So you've got 2 ensuite bedrooms, and the setup of these bedrooms in terms of the design is very, very similar to the 1-bedroom, but it's just you've got the bathroom behind, and you're again from the bed overlooking that pan. We'll be adding in those new mirrors just here, so you've again got that double vanity and the bath, and then behind there you've got an outdoor shower as well, which was definitely made use of, considering how hot it was. What I really loved about about a safari in Mana Pools and at Mashuma, was that it didn't feel like you were going on a game drive or going on a walking safari. It felt like we were kind of doing all the activities at once. And when the time was right, we hopped out of the vehicle and started walking on foot, or we carried on in the vehicle, and it felt like we were kind of, it was very fluid and felt very relaxed. This is a few of our own photos. Beautiful kind of morning tea setup with the sunrise. This was actually on the right hand side, was the day we decided to go all the way down to the river. So we spent our whole morning out. We drove all the way down to the river. We had morning tea at the river. Then we drove on for a little while down the river and had breakfast at one point, and then eventually we took our time and circled back and went back to camp. But we didn't get back until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was a really beautiful, kind of felt like almost a full day's activity, because we'd got up at sort of 5 o'clock. And then actually that afternoon we then didn't go out on a game drive, so we stayed in camp. And we kind of hung out in camp watching the pan, and eventually when it came to sort of sunset time, we sort of thought, oh well, I suppose we might as well leave. We should probably leave camp at some point today, but none of us wanted to, because there was so many elephants all around the pan. So we sort of popped around the corner, had a sundowner in a different location, then quickly rushed back, because all we wanted to do was stay in that beautiful main decked area. The walking here is absolutely amazing. The game are really, really chilled out, and the proximity you can kind of be to elephants. We walked onto lions, who were quite a closer distance than I would usually want a lion to be from me, and it was just a really, really it felt like a really interactive safari. We did have the most incredible guide I've ever had, and even Anita said it was the most amazing guide she's had. He was just fantastic, and he really got us out of the vehicle at lots of different times looking at tracks. We were driving and we saw the lions, and we took the opportunity to walk to them because it was off the main road. And so we just had a really kind of, as I said, a kind of fluid safari experience. You have the elephants here. You have Boswell the elephant, who's the one who goes up on his hind legs, and there are other elephants that you can see sort of trying to copy him, which is quite amazing. And just the wildlife encounters you can have here are really incredible. As I said, the lion, amazing. Just walking onto them was absolutely incredible. But I think something that's the big thing for me here is the different types of topography that you drive through. Even from the camp, we drive through the kind of bush area around the camp, and then it sort of opened out into the sort of open grassland, or would have been grass once it's rained. It was quite dry when we were there. And then you get down to the river, and you've got the sort of acacia trees behind you, and you drive out onto the river, and it's like Eden. It's absolutely beautiful. And you've got on the lower Zambezi side, you've got the escarpment behind you, but from the Mana side, you can see the escarpment, and it just, that view, I was quite emotional when we got down to the river. I thought it was just breathtaking. So it was really lovely to have that kind of that really varied experience. I feel like we were only there 3 nights, but it felt like so much longer, because we saw so much, so many different types of topography. We did so much in terms of the walking and driving and sitting at the pan for hours on end, and then also coming down to the river on a morning as well, and doing that full kind of morning out, and just popping back, literally coming back to the camp for lunch. So and it was a late lunch as well. So it was really, really incredible. And I do think this area of the world is one of my favorites, certainly. A quick look at rates. We always like to include that, because it's all very well and good showing you the properties, but you need to know how much they are for your clients. So Molori Safari, being in South Africa, is quoted in rand, but I have popped in the current exchange rate as at sort of a couple of hours ago. And then Molori Mashuma is quoted in US dollars, and that is per person per night, and that's of course all inclusive.